Hello students, welcome to my channel Learning History Made Easy. In today's video, I will be explaining the second part of model paper for reduced syllabus this year. This part contains 5-mark questions. Before going into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time, or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share with your friends. So without wasting time, let us get into the video. So now we are going to see part C. Part C is answer any 6 of the following questions in 15 to 20 sentences. So here 8 questions will be given and you will have to write any 6. Each question will carry 5 marks. So let us see the first question. Explain the special features of Indian history. So that is the first question which we are going to discuss. So the question we will see, that is, the question is about the special features of Indian history. Indian history. So usually for a 5-mark question, the main points should be highlighted. So the special features of Indian history are, the first special feature is continuity of civilization and culture. Continuity of civilization and culture. After writing the main point, you just underline the main point and you then start explaining the point. India has one of the earliest histories in the world. Indian history is one of the earliest histories considering the history of the world, and it has a continuity and civilization of culture for almost 4,000 years. So Indian history is almost continuous history or continuous civilization and culture for almost 4,000 years. So that is the first point of a feature of Indian history, that is continuity of civilization and culture. Now we will move on to the second point. The second point is evolution in phases. Evolution in phases. Second point you write, underline the point and then explanation. Indian civilization has developed in various stages, that is, stage by stage development was a special feature of Indian history. So Indian civilizations have developed in various stages and there is a chain of events. So there is a chain of events from Indus civilization to Vedic age, then from Vedic to Islamic influence. So like this, there is a chain of events or a chain of civilizations in Indian history. So that is the second feature of Indian history, that is evolution in phases. So first is continuity of civilization and culture. Second special feature is evolution in phases. Now the third special feature of Indian history is foreign invasion. Foreign invasion is a third special feature. So you underline the point, and India was often subjected to the influence of foreign invasion. That we all know, India was a land which attracted foreigners. We have a lot of foreigners who came to India, like Greeks, Arabs, Turks. All these people came to India and they left a deep impact in India. These foreigners, they came to India and they left a deep impact, and most of them, these foreigners, contributed to our culture. These foreigners contributed to Indian culture and some became a part of our culture. So that is the foreign invasion. India was often subjected to the foreign influence. Greeks came, Arabs, Turks, many other foreigners came to India and most of them contributed to Indian culture and they became a part of our culture. Now the fourth special feature of Indian history is dominant and tolerant Hindu faith. Dominant and tolerant Hindu faith. That is the next next special feature of Indian history. See, India is a home of different religion, that is, India has Hindus, Jains are there, Buddhists are there, many religious people, Buddhists, Muslims, Christians, etc. India is a land of all these religion. And India believe in the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is a concept which India believe, that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Kutumbakam, which means the world is a family. That is the concept. But here it is a dominant Hindu faith. Even though Hindu faith is dominant, India is tolerant. That is, India has many other religions like Jains, Buddhists, Muslims, Christians, etc. And India believes in the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is, the world is a family. So that is the fourth point, dominant and tolerant Hindu faith. Now the fifth point, special feature of Indian history, is contribution to the world. Contribution to the world. That is the next special feature of Indian history. See, India has given a number of contributions to the world in different fields. In different fields, we can tell in the field of literature, philosophy, science, art, architecture, all these fields, India has given a lot of contributions to the world. So if we see the contributions, at least a few we can tell as examples. If we see the contribution in architecture, India has a number of forts, India has a number of palaces, a lot of temples. All these were important contribution of India to architecture. Even some of the architectures of India, UNO has recognized as World Heritage Centers, example Taj Mahal, Ajanta Ellora. All these you can write as examples. Another important contribution from the side of India is yoga and Ayurveda. Yoga and Ayurveda are very important contributions of India. Then in the field of music, we can see Hindustani music is there, Carnatic music is there, Hindustani, Carnatic. All these are important contributions in music. If you see the contributions in dance, you can see Bharatanatyam, Kathak, all Mohiniyattam, etc. are contributions in the field of dance. And India also has contributed in the field of education, like especially universities like Nalanda University, Kashi, etc. are places where students from different part of the world comes. So all these contributions, if you list, it will be unending, but at least some examples you can tell India has given all these contributions to the world. That also, a country giving so many contributions to the world, that is a special feature of Indian history. Another special feature, if we see, that is the sixth feature we are going to see now. The sixth feature is India as a country which attracts foreigners. India attracts foreigners. That is another special feature of Indian history, that is especially in the form of tourists. India attracts a lot of tourists because of our the beauty of India, hill stations. All these attracts a lot of tourists. And other than this, the fertile land of India and the wealth of India also attracts many foreign invaders. There are two types of foreigners who came to India. One came as tourists and other came as invaders. And the last special feature which you have to write, that is the special feature, that is unity in diversity. Unity in diversity is a very special feature of Indian history because India is a land of diversity. That is, India has physical diversity, racial diversity, linguistic diversity, that is many languages are spoken in India, many religion is there in India, many type of physical features are there in India, so many diversities are there. In spite of all these, India is united. Okay, we are all united. There is some unifying force in India. So all these are the special features of Indian history. So this is how you write a 5-mark answer for special features of Indian history. So this is a very important question. So if a question comes to explain the special features of Indian history, you have to write 7 points, 7 main points and explanation. So the first point which you have to write is continuity of civilization and culture. That is the first point you have to write. You can write the point and then you have to explain. Second point you have to write is evolution in phases, how stage by stage Indian history developed. The third point which you have to write is foreign invasion, how different foreigners came to India and they became part of our culture. Fourth one is about dominant and tolerant Hindu faith. That is the fourth feature, how India is tolerant towards all the religion. Fifth feature is the contributions which India has given to the world, contribution to the world. That is the fifth feature. Then the sixth feature is India attracts India as a country attracts foreigners. That is the sixth special feature. And the last feature is unity in diversity. So you write all the points and you explain just 2-line explanation for each points. That will be a perfect answer for the question special features of Indian history. So just let us read the points once more. Explain the special features of Indian history. The special features of Indian history are continuity of civilization and culture. India has one of the earliest histories in the world. It has a continuity of civilization and culture for almost 4,000 years. Second is evolution in phases. Its civilization has developed in various stages. There is a chain of events from Indus to Vedic, Vedic to Islamic influence, etc. Third one, foreign invasion. India was often subjected to the influence of foreign invasion. Greeks, Arabs, Turks, etc. came to India and left deep impact. Most of them contributed to Indian culture and became a part of it. Fourth one, dominant and tolerant Hindu faith. India is a home for Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, Muslims, Christians, etc. India believe in the concept of Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, which means the world is a family. Fifth one, contribution to the world. India has given a number of contributions in the field of literature, philosophy, music, dance, etc. Architectural contribution includes forts, palaces, temples, etc. UNO has recognized many historical sites as a center of world heritage, example Taj Mahal, Ajanta, Ellora. Yoga and Ayurveda are special contributions of India. In the field of music, Hindustani and Carnatic music are its contribution. Bharatanatyam, Kathak, etc. are the artistic contributions. Universities of Nalanda, Kashi, etc. attracted students from different countries. Sixth one, India is a country of attraction for foreigners. The fertile land and huge wealth of India attracted foreign invaders. The beauty of India, its hill stations, beaches, etc. are attracting tourists from all over the world. And the last point, unity in diversity. India is a land of physical, racial, linguistic, social, religious and economic diversity. In spite of all these diversities, there are many unifying forces which keep India united. So that is the answer for the question, special features of Indian history. Now let us move to the next question. What are the factors responsible for the rise of new religion? So this again is a 5-mark question. So the question is like this: factors for the rise of new religion. That is especially Jainism and Buddhism. What were the factors for the rise of the new religion? So here also, as I told you, main points will be there that you have to highlight, underline and then explanation. So the main factors for the rise of new religion are: the first point, complication in Vedic religion. That is the first point, complications in Vedic religion. So early Vedic religion was very simple. During the early Vedic age, religion was very simple. But what happened when it moved on to the later Vedic age, it became complex due to the influence of priest and elaborate ceremonies. During the later Vedic age, the religion became very complex. Many complications entered into the religion, and this was because of the priest and many elaborate ceremonies. All these things were there, and that made the religion very complex. So here religion became complex because of elaborate ceremonies and the influence of priest. All these were the problems in the religion, and that was the first factor for the rise of new religion. When Vedic religion became very complex, people started to feel that we need a very simple religion. We don't want such complex religion. So that was the first factor. Now the second factor for the rise of new religion was animal sacrifice. Animal sacrifice. So during the later Vedic age, in religion, animal sacrifice became prominent. And the problem with animal sacrifice was, first thing was, it was very costly. And when it became very costly, people were not able to do it. And then people started losing faith in religion. People started losing faith because of this animal sacrifice or these violent things in religion. People started losing faith, and people also started hating the rites and rituals, which became very complex. Rites and rituals became very complex in religion. It became very complicated, and for all the worldly attainments, yagas, yajnas, everything was said to be done. So these yagas and yajnas also were very costly. So all these became the next reason, next factor for the rise of new religion. So animal sacrifice was a very costly affair, and people started losing faith in the religion. Rites and rituals became very complex, and for anything they started to recommend yagas and yajnas. So this was the second factor for the rise of new religion. So first factor, complication in Vedic religion. Second factor, animal sacrifice. Now the third factor for the rise of new religion was chanting of mantras. Chanting of mantras. So what was the problem with chanting of mantras? See, the Vedic literature was completely in Sanskrit. The Vedic literature was written in Sanskrit. And the problem with Sanskrit was the language was known only for priestly class. Sanskrit language mostly Brahmanas knew, only the priestly class knew. And the common people found it very difficult to understand. So it was very difficult for the common people to understand Sanskrit. Common people did not understand Sanskrit. Only the priestly class understood Sanskrit. Common people did not understand, and because of this, people started losing faith in mantras. Because without knowing the meaning, if they chant mantras, people will not have faith. So that was the next factor, chanting of mantras. The Vedic literature was written in Sanskrit. It was known only for priestly class, and common people did not understand. So that was another factor why people wanted a new religion. The next factor is supremacy of priestly class. Supremacy of priestly class. That is, the priestly class or Brahmanas established their supremacy. The Brahmanas always showed their supremacy, and they had special privileges. Always they had special privileges which the common people did not have. So that also made the common people upset. So the priestly class showed their supremacy. They were Brahmanas and they had some special privileges. The fifth factor for the rise of new religion was the caste system. So the caste system was prominent during that time. That is, inequality and discrimination existed. that is, the religion itself was divided into different castes, and in this caste, Brahmanas were superior and they enjoyed high status. Brahmanas had high status, and Shudras, that is the lower class, always had to suffer. So caste system, the religion was divided into different castes like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and there was a lot of inequality among them, and Brahmanas had high status and Shudras had to suffer. So this was the fifth factor for the rise of new religion. And the last factor, that is the sixth factor, was birth of great personalities. Birth of great personalities. So when the people suffered all these problems and when people wanted a new religion, two great personalities came. One was Mahavira and the other personality was Gautama Buddha. So these two people, what was the speciality of them? They preached simple principles. They preached very simple principles. People were fed up of the complication of Vedic religion. That time these two personalities came and they started speaking simple principles, and that too in the language of common people, in the language which common people will understand. Otherwise Vedic religion was in Sanskrit. Common people did not understand. So Mahavira and Buddha taught simple principles in the language of common people, and this attracted people towards new religion. And all these were the factors responsible for the rise of new religion. So when the 5-mark question come, what were the factors responsible for new religion? You have to write 6 points as answer. First point you have to write complications in Vedic religion. That is the first point, complication in Vedic religion. Second point you can write supremacy of priestly class. Supremacy of priestly class. Second point. Then you have to explain the point. Then you can write animal sacrifice. Animal sacrifice. After that, chanting of mantras. Chanting of mantras in Sanskrit. That was another factor. Fifth factor, caste system. And the last, sixth factor is birth of great personalities. Great personalities. So the 6 points you write, explain all the points. That will be a perfect 5-mark answer for the question, factors for the rise of new religion. So just we will see the points. What were the factors responsible for the rise of new religion? The main factors responsible for the rise of new religion are complications in Vedic religion. Early Vedic religion was very simple. Later it became complex due to the influence of priest and elaborate ceremony. Supremacy of the priestly class. Brahmanas established supremacy over other class and they enjoyed special privileges. Animal sacrifices. This was a very costly practice and people started losing belief in the religion. Rites and rituals became more complex in later Vedic age. For all worldly attainments, yagas and rituals were recommended. Chanting of mantras. Vedic literature was in Sanskrit. This language was mastered by priestly class and common people found it difficult to understand. People started losing faith of mantra. Caste discrimination. Discrimination existed among different castes. Brahmanas enjoyed high status and Shudras had to suffer. And the last point, birth of great personalities. Two great personalities, Mahavira and Gautama Buddha, preached simple principles of life in the language of common people. This attracted common people towards new faith. Now let us move on to the next 5-mark question. Describe the achievements of Amoghavarsha. So the next question we are going to discuss is the achievements of Amoghavarsha. Achievements of Amoghavarsha. So here when achievements of a person is asked, you will have to write it point wise, then only it will be easy. So considering the achievements of Amoghavarsha, he was the greatest ruler of Rashtrakutas. He was the greatest ruler of Rashtrakuta. So when any personality is asked, any king achievement is asked, first you write he was a ruler of which dynasty. He was the greatest ruler of Rashtrakutas. He was also called as Sharva. Amoghavarsha was also called as Sharva. He defeated the Vengi Chalukyan ruler Gunaga Vijayaditya III. So achievements of any king is his conquest and the kings whom he defeated and other kind of contributions. So the first contribution or achievement is he defeated the Chalukyan ruler. The Chalukyan ruler's name is Gunaga Vijayaditya III. So he first defeated the Chalukyan ruler Gunaga Vijayaditya III. The northern part of Ganga Empire was under the control of Bankesha, the commander of Amoghavarsha. So the northern part of Ganga Empire was also under the control of Amoghavarsha. That means it was under the control of Bankesha, and Bankesha was the commander of Amoghavarsha. Okay, Bankesha, he was the commander of Amoghavarsha. So that also was an achievement, that is he controlled the northern part of Ganga Empire. But later what happened? Nitimarga Ereyanga, he defeated Amoghavarsha. That was an important incident in the rule of Amoghavarsha, that is he was defeated by Nitimarga Ereyanga. So Amoghavarsha was the greatest ruler of Rashtrakutas. He was called as Sharva. He defeated the Vengi Chalukyan ruler Gunaga Vijayaditya III. The northern part of Ganga Empire was under the control of Bankesha, who was a commander of Amoghavarsha. Later, Nitimarga Ereyanga, he defeated Amoghavarsha. And Nitimarga Ereyanga defeated Amoghavarsha in the battle of Rajaramudi. After this, what happened? A great change, that is Amoghavarsha, he gave up conflicts with the Gangas because he was defeated. He gave up conflict with Gangas and he changed his policy into matrimonial alliance. So he changed his policy into matrimonial alliances. So that was an achievement of Amoghavarsha. He gave up conflict with the Ganga and other kings and developed matrimonial alliances. So we get evidence from the Nilagunda and Shiruru inscription. Nilagunda and Shirur inscription. All these inscriptions tell that Amoghavarsha was respected ruler of many neighboring states. So it says how Amoghavarsha was respected by the neighboring states. So that evidence we get from the Nilagunda inscription and Shirur inscription says how Amoghavarsha was respected by the neighboring states. And during the last days, Amoghavarsha had to face a rebellion from Yuvaraja Krishna. Yuvaraja Krishna rebelled against Amoghavarsha. So during his last days, Amoghavarsha had to face rebellion from Yuvaraja Krishna, and when this rebellion came, his commander Bankesha helped him. Bankesha made Yuvaraja Krishna repent. He made him understand and made him repent. So Amoghavarsha, he gave up conflict with the Gangas and started matrimonial alliances. Nilagunda and Shiruru inscription tells that Amoghavarsha was respected by the neighboring states. During his last days, he had to face rebellion of Yuvaraja Krishna, and his commander Bankesha faced the rebellion and made Krishna repent. And Amoghavarsha was very happy that Bankesha helped him in this time, and in memory of that victory, Amoghavarsha built Bankapura in the name of Bankesha. Bankapura was built in the name of his commander Bankesha, because Bankesha helped Amoghavarsha when Yuvaraja Krishna rebelled against him. And the next important thing about Amoghavarsha is Amoghavarsha was tolerant towards all religion. He was very tolerant person towards all religion, and he was a very peace-loving person, and he also was a scholar himself. So he was peace-loving and he was a scholar himself. Then according to Sanjan inscription, it is said that Amoghavarsha was a great devotee of Kolhapur Mahalakshmi. Kolhapur Mahalakshmi. So according to Sanjan inscription, he was a great devotee of Kolhapur Mahalakshmi, and it says that he has cut his left thumb as a sacrifice to Kolhapur Mahalakshmi to protect his subjects from famine. So when there was a famine, King Amoghavarsha cut his left thumb and gave it as a sacrifice to Kolhapur Mahalakshmi to protect his people. Another achievement was he was a poet himself, and his famous work is Prashnottara Ratnamala. Prashnottara Ratnamala. It is written in Sanskrit. That is a very famous work written by Amoghavarsha. And the Arab traveler Suleiman visited the capital during the time of Amoghavarsha. And finally, you can write about some of his titles. His titles, one title is Sri Vallabha. Amoghavarsha's title, Sri Vallabha, Nripatunga, etc. So his two titles are Sri Vallabha, Nripatunga, etc. So these are the achievements of Amoghavarsha. So 5-mark question regarding achievements of Amoghavarsha. Let us see what all points we have to write. He was the greatest ruler of Rashtrakutas. He was called Sharva. He defeated the Vengi Chalukya ruler Gunaga Vijayaditya III. The northern part of Ganga Empire was under the control of Bankesha, the commander of Amoghavarsha. Nitimarga Iryanga defeated Amoghavarsha in the battle of Rajaramudi. Amoghavarsha gave up conflicts with the Ganga and other kings and developed matrimonial alliances. The Nilagunda and Shirur inscription tells us that Amoghavarsha was respected by the rulers of many neighboring states. During his last days, he had to face rebellion of Yuvaraja Krishna, and his commander Bankesha faced the rebellion and made Krishna repent. In memory of this victory, Amoghavarsha built Bankapura in the name of Bankesha. Amoghavarsha was tolerant to all religion. He was peace-loving and scholar himself. Sanjan inscription tells us that he cut off his left thumb as a sacrifice to Kolhapur Mahalakshmi to protect his subjects from famine. He was a poet himself. He wrote Prashnottara Ratnamala in Sanskrit. Arab traveler Suleiman visited his capital in 851 century era. Amoghavarsha had titles like Sri Vallabha, Nripatunga, Veeranarayana, etc. So these are the 3 5-mark questions in model paper. So the balance 5-mark questions I will be explaining in the next videos. And if you study with me like this point by point, it will be very easy for you to write during the exam time. So I hope you have understood all these 3 questions very clearly. Now the coming videos will be also about 5-mark questions. After that, the next part I will be explaining 10-mark questions, match the following and chronological order. So after completing the first model paper, we will move on to the second model paper. So I hope you have understood all the points very clearly. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and comments will be of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. I hope to see you all soon in the next video. Thank you for watching.